Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for the next couple of upcoming weeks, I'll be doing something slightly different on my channel. Usually I post or upload contents that correlate with my favorite gigs. However, for the next upcoming weeks, I plan on doing a 6-week tutorial series. This tutorial series will be between now and December 31st, so that's tentatively around Christmas Eve. During this time, I'll be doing tutorials teaching you guys how to create social media posts. Each week, I will be uploading a tutorial where I will teach you guys how to design 5 social media posts. I will also share tutorial videos of how I design social media posts that I share on my Instagram using Canva. This tutorial series will be titled Designing with Zahr, and I will compile them in a playlist using said title. So a quick recap. Each week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or 2 times per week, I will be uploading tutorial videos teaching you guys how to create attractive social media posts with Canva. So for this first tutorial on designing with Zahr, I'm actually creating a social media post for my Motivational Monday post that I had just posted on my Instagram account. And right here, you can actually see me duplicating a square. And so that is a very easy thing that you can do within Canva. So if you'd like to do that in Canva, where you don't have to press copy on the top right corner of the panel, you can actually click down on whatever you're trying to copy and press the Alt function on your computer. And that's what I did, basically, to duplicate that initial square, because I wanted the dimensions to be the same. So if you're creating something and you want to duplicate it and the dimensions to be the same, you want it to be exact, that is the best function to use. You can use the copy function on the horizontal panel right there, or you can actually do this method. And right there, you just saw me lock the design in. So what locking the design in does is that whenever you are going to layer, because you design in layers on Canva, whenever you're putting that next layer on the design, it doesn't actually affect the previous one. So when you lock that in, whatever you put on top of it, it won't shift it any at all. Or if you're trying to group things together, it won't affect that design that you just did. So the best method I've found with designing is to actually, because you're designing in layers, when you're complete with one layer, you lock it in, that way it remains uninterrupted. Yes, and so that's what I did there. I lock it in. So at this point, I just realized that this was not a method for me. You just saw me shift through a lot of different colors or variation of red. And even though this peach and gray looks nice, it wasn't working for me, not with the theme of a Motivational Monday, because my Motivational Mondays are themed. And so I was just trying to land on a picture that is really representative of the theme that I had. And the theme for this Motivational Monday that I did on the 16th of November was Vision. So initially the title of the Motivational Monday was Vision, but then I changed it later on. Later on, I had changed it to Clear Vision. And so this was kind of like picture. When you type in vision on Canva, this came up in your options. And so right here, you saw me do the same thing with the duplication, where I click down on the icon and press the Alt function on your computer. And that's what I'm doing here. So basically what I'm doing here now is I'm actually creating these kind of like boundaries for what I'm going to put on the other layer of my design. So I wanted to put another square on top of that, but I made sure I want it to be equidistant from each parameter of the picture. So that's what I did. I just created those 2 small things, grouped them. They're exact replicas of each other, so that does the job. So right now you see me just pulling that in and putting it as close as possible to that. I'm resizing it, and then I'm duplicating with that same function I tell you about. Click down on the icon or whatever the object is you want to duplicate and select, press that Alt function on your laptop, right? And right here I am just trying to size it. I'm trying to see what looks good to me, right? And it always takes a while when you're designing with Canva, because you know you have to go back and forth with these designs until you land on something that you really like and it's attractive, it pops, it works. So this is just me shaping it and going over what works, if it was pleasing to me. And there you saw me group that. Haven't locked it in as yet, but I'm going to change the color right here, right? And so yellow, no. So right here I was basically trying to match the yellow in the background. I was basically looking for a color that is going to match there. I landed on trying to use white, but the white was too poppish. It wasn't going to work. The white wouldn't have worked at all. And so here I'm just putting a background on there. So you see me change that to a color, a nice yellow. Yes, I found a yellow. I'm going to find a nice yellow and land that. Change that there. Yeah. And like I say, I'm still trying to match a yellow with the background, the yellows in the background. And then you notice that when I put that yellow behind the initial two squares, something look wrong, definitely wrong. So I have to go back, fix the part there. That can't work. Not working. Right? And so go back in and resize them, right? And then boom. Same function to duplicate it, yes. And you know you're using the function when those pink lines come out, because those pink lines are really good. It tells you the dimensions, you know, the distance and everything of the duplication, how far apart they are. It gives you it, if I remember correctly, in a ratio format. So you can even use that to really help you, guide you with duplicating the designs. So it was kind of hard designing this one, landing on the design, because mentally so yes, yes, my advert please, my very advert please. Like, just I wanted to create squares that were equal quadrants. I didn't want for these gray square to shift the dimension of even the quadrants of the yellow one. So I wanted, even though I have these replications, I still wanted everything to have the quadrants to be equal, or as seemingly equal as possible. And you see me land on that one there. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that part there did work. And now I try fade it. Let's see if it worked with the fading. So decide to make a switch it, rotate it. Don't ask me what was the big difference with the rotation now, but in my head it made sense. Can't really debate on what makes sense in your head. Just have to go with it some of the times. Okay, and so for this function, you notice I didn't even come off the element panel any at all. So if you press the T button on your laptop, it automatically brings up your text, and you can change the font, you can change the size, you can change the effects of it, and you're going to see me do all that wonderful thing right now, right? So every week I do straight line, yeah, horizontal line right in here, and Canva have curves, so I got type this week and the curve. I never got a straight line, that never got keep none at all. So the curve will work. I do the curve. Replicate it, yes. And so I like, this is one of the things I do with my designs, where I replicate and try to create some types of depth and dimension to my design. So I may do replication of two same typography. I may replicate the typography and put them in two different effects and then group them, and trust me, it works well. If you check out my posts on my Instagram accounts, you will see that it works well. I mean, sometimes it kind of off because sometimes it look different on Canva than when it look on my phone. So right here, I'm just putting my motivational Mondays, I'm putting visions, and like I said, at a later point in the design with finishing this post, I actually changed the title of the motivational Monday from vision to clear vision, right? And you're going to see me type that in a second. All right, because you're gonna embarrass me if you never start type. Okay, and so here is another thing that I also do. So sometimes I do this in the same text box, and sometimes I use two different text boxes and then group them. But I normally keep my motivational Monday in a different font from the theme of my motivational Mondays. So that's basically what you see me doing there. And right now I'm actually changing this one, the font. I think I'm changing the font for here, and then yeah, resizing it. Shrink it down. Yeah, girl. And yeah. Alright, and so I'm gonna change the font here again. Alright, now see there. There was just something that's what I use. I swear me use the script one. Duplicate it, yeah. Change the effects. Change the color to white, yes. Offset it. So what I'm doing here is with this function, the effects, the text effect function on Canva, you can choose to either use this neon, aqua, blue color and purple, or you use it with red, and my go-to is usually the one with the purple, yeah. And so you see that's the first effects I put on the lower typography, yeah. And so for the upper one now I'm going to do regular, so I think this is changing to black, so I landed on black. Now you guys will see, right? And sometimes I use this, I do this concept too, where I use, like, if I use a yellow, I may use a different variation of yellow, like a deeper yellow, to actually make it look like that word is popping out of the page. Like I say, this effect is nice for creating dimensions in your design. So it gives your design, your social media post design, dimension and depth. It's a really good thing you can practice when you're designing your social media posts. And it sets it apart from everybody else's own too. So I've never seen a social media post that looks like mine, but hey, what's unique to me? Like being weird. Right? So you see me changing and playing around with a yellow. Yeah, because I wanted it to have that pop effect, like the colors are actually coming up out of the page. Yeah, so one way, it doesn't matter the effect that you use now, you can achieve that with whatever effect, as long as you offset each layout of the typography. You have to offset it in order to achieve that. You can offset it offset the top one and fade the bottom one. There's so many different things you can do, but this just takes you playing with the with Canva, and then once you find a process of designing your social media posts or just designing generally in Canva, and yeah. And so yeah, you see me group it there, and then boom, now we're changing that top one to a green color because that's what I decided to do. So again, I like to keep the thematics of the photos in the background. So green was good, black is neutral color, white is neutral, and so I went with green because you notice that the picture in the background actually have white, so you can pick up on the white. If you, depending on whether there's rain clouds or not, you can pick up on some elements of gray, so that gray is actually captured in that square with the yellow and gray. Good. And then you have yellow from the flowers, right? And then now we're gone to green because, you know, the stalk of the plants are green, and so we're trying to capture the colors from the photo in the background and keeping it in the same theme of the photo. Usually though, it can be something I found weird when I was designing this one is usually they give you the color templates for whatever picture or background you use. Usually they give you the color palette, so it's much easier for you to pick the colors like this. You see me going through the entire range of yellow colors. You don't normally have to do that normally. Usually it's there. I guess probably the Canva updated, and I need to update it on my laptop, so you know it kind of logs in that area. But right here you just see me being picky, still trying to land on something that looks pop-ish to me. Don't ask me what pop-ish is. It makes sense in my head when I see it. I see it. You know. When you know, you know. So you have to see it first, but no. So right here, so I see it's completely different right now. Yeah, so because I had white in the Zahr's designs, and that's my social media page, you can go on there and check out this post. Yeah, do me a favor and like it too. Thank you. So usually with my motivational Mondays, I approach it almost the same way like I approach research paper, which is probably better or good, who knows. And so I like to give a definition of things, yeah. I like to tell why things are important, yeah. And then I give some quotes, yeah. That's basically how I do my motivational Mondays. So if the theme is vision, the theme is goals, the theme is that, we're going to define it first, right? So we're going to identify, what it is. We're going to define it first. So for here, I just wanted, I don't know, I didn't like the way the words looked against the gray and the yellow. So I was just trying to find a neutral, something that will neutralize even between the gray and yellow and the words. So that's what you see me doing here, trying to look for something. But I had an idea. An idea popped in my head, and you guys going to see me execute on that in a minute right here. After I'm done search, I'll do what I can bound. Alright, see them, I just have the idea now. So the idea I had was that I remember when I used one of Canva's templates, they had this gradient square, and they actually use it. See the same way like this one with a picture in the background, and you see that gradient from red to gray. That's the same exact effect I'm going to do replicator right here. Yeah, let's see. Watch. Yeah, picked up. And with this now you can change the color, so you can really fade anything. You can put it and fade anything. So if you design something, let's say you design something personal, or if you work on Fiverr like I do, and you design have certain information on there and you don't want it to show, this is always something good you can use to cover that information, or just to blur it out to not make it as clear as possible. So yeah, you see me doing that. I'm just resizing it to the pre-existing square that is there. Yeah, and then I'm going to change the color now to black. And then now we're going to lower it underneath the words. So that's basically what we're doing there. You see the difference? It's alright now. So it kinda off, so I can just try to perfect it as much as possible. You understand? Right. And then now I never really did too like them, some this away with them. Get them out of here. Lock that in. Alright, so whenever they like them, they're the more, so them can go on about them business. And lock them. I mean, them alright, them couldn't stay, but them still, them they have to go. So you just see me create a blank paper, and yeah, I want to group these together. So that's what you see me doing there, grouping them, because I'm going to try to group and lock everything inside now. So yeah, boom, boom, right, and these lines. So I'm trying to center that as much as possible. So yeah, and then I wanted it to go in between the two yellows. Yeah, the borders of the two yellows. I didn't want us to be so distinguishable. Next, I'm going to group here. Yeah, I like borders. I don't design anything at all without a border. I think a border just completes a design. And so one trick with this border in Canva is you actually shrink it down to vary the thickness of the border. So you see how it come up naturally, it's pretty thick. If you want it to stay like that, you can make it stay like that now. Or you shrink it down and then resize it. So by shrinking it and resize it, you alter the thickness of it. So that's what you see me doing here. And then Canva have this thing where you use them border and then it act like something I beg it something, and then it just want to show up all of the edges of the picture. I'm gonna do your feet. So we shift it out, offset it a little bit, resize it, and then try to clean up all of the edges. I wanna need that. Who need that? We don't need them negative energy there. Don't need it. Alright. Probably gonna delete this, come on, duplicate it. That's a cover. We just made the cover. So the social media had about you Instagram gives you up to 10 things to share in one post, and so right now I'm just creating the others with the information that are going to hold the information, and then I do almost the same thing, slightly different, right? So put the white and we'll lock it in. Delete that, yeah. And then right now we're just going to see me play around a little bit until something feel compatible. But my ancestors them tell me stop. Yeah, so I never feel right, so try again. I have to try and try. Okay, so boom. Land pan the yellow, same yellow, and that's the same yellow we used previously. And then I had this idea again pop in my head. Hey, I watched this girl masterclass with Canva, yeah, and she actually duplicates stuff like this and then fade it in the background. So I like the idea that she did that. That was very creative on her part, and I basically wanted to try the same thing on my post. I'm not wrong, nothing wrong. Some of the same thing. Yeah. Even though on my official post I offset it, I put it to the top. Yeah, you see? Yeah, I said this thing. Yeah. So now we're just gonna group it, yeah, and then lock it in, fade. Now when I try decide but I'll fade it or not, I'm gonna really do like the fading, because I know that I will contradict with the writing that is going to go on there. And so I never did buy it apart. So ultimately that design changed. It was slightly changed. The cover has no small flowers on it. You see these flowers right there at the bottom of the element screen. Yeah, add those onto the cover in different colors: orange, green, white, yellow, green, white, and orange. Yeah, but I know where orange come from, but orange just drop in because I don't like do two things together. Someone like see green and then green again, yellow and yellow. Look right in my head. So basically ended there. Yes, so thank you for watching this video. And this is the end of this tutorial. You can check out this post on my social media. You just saw the name, it's Zahr's Design. So ZAH.RHYNES_designs. You can like this post, you can share this post, whatever the case may be. So thanks for watching this tutorial and me sharing how I design this social media posts with you.